With the recent news coming out that Supercell is going to rework every single gadget in the game to have cooldowns and infinite uses, I think most of us know that there's going to be a lot of trouble surrounding this. So I wanted to go through my thoughts, what part of this would be good, what part of it would be bad, and give an overall summary to see if we're actually doomed from this gadget rework. So if you don't know what has happened, I'm off script by the way, so I might miss some things. If I miss stuff, put it in the comments. With the ranked rework, they're also reworking gadgets, and gadgets now have infinite uses, so you can technically use them as much as you want. But now they will have a depending cooldown based on the strength of the gadget, is what I'm understanding. So maybe a gadget like Dynamic Stun is going to be 30 seconds, whereas a gadget like, I don't know, a really bad one like his other gadget, Fidget Spinner, might have like a 7-second one. These can range from 7 seconds to 30 seconds, like I kind of just implied, and this is going to be kind of weird. On the one hand, it means they've got a whole new way to balance the game and balance every brawler, which is very nice. And it also means they can kind of balance out the gadget meta, which is also pretty nice. But there's quite a few issues that I've kind of thought about. The first thing, this is kind of a small thing because it doesn't apply to everyone, but what if a brawler has a gadget that gives them their super? Take RT for example. What is going to happen with his? He can't get a free super every 30 seconds. Like, I think that's pretty insane. Personally, but like, you know, and there's other brawlers who also get their super. I can't think of any on the spot right now, but there are brawlers who just get their super, and I feel like other brawlers who don't need to use their gadget all the time but have a very strong gadget, 30 seconds isn't going to do much. It makes them a lot more of a threat. Like Nanny's Return to Sender, for example. Nanny's Return to Sender is a pretty strong gadget. I stand Nanny and I'm biased, but it's just broken, it's just strong. And I think that's going to cause a lot of issues, having it every 30 seconds. Like, Piper tries homing shot on you, you reflect it. Piper does it again, you've got it back, you reflect it. It's going to be really stupid. The same with gadgets like Melody Shield. Like, how is that going to go? Every time you get to a heist safe, just pop the shield, it's done. Also, this is a good thing because it means some of the weaker gadgets can kind of get into the spotlight. Like Fidget Spinner might end up being the better gadget for Dynamite after this, just because you get it so much more often. But I don't see that being the case. It's just something that could hypothetically happen. Another issue and kind of pro/con I've seen for this is one, that gadgets are very all over the place right now, which is true. So it can be a good way to balance them out. But alongside that, this could make gadgets worse in the way that they're going to be way more just absurdly broken in some cases, which I also agree with. I know that Supercell are not the balancing gods that no one thinks they are. So how is this exactly going to go? I'm quite worried because a lot of gadgets, I feel like there's some very underrated ones that could definitely get swept under the rug and just cause like literally like infinite health bugs or random stuff. Like, imagine Kit. Every time a Kit gets their super, they can use the hamburger gadget on top of someone. So basically every super they get is going to have a free heal on a teammate. That is insane to me. And the same with the invisibility. If they get that any sooner than 30 seconds, they just reduce their super time by like a fifth or whatever it is, because it speeds up the supercharge if you stood still. And it's also going to be an absolute menace in the showdown. Camp in a bush for 30 seconds, move to another bush. Camp in that bush for 30 seconds, move to another bush. No one sees you move, yet you're going across the map. Same with Lily. You could use the Vanish gadget, go across, wait 30 seconds, go across. I feel like a lot of gadgets weren't made with this idea in mind. Obviously they weren't, but that creates the idea that they're going to be very mix and match in terms of some are going to absolutely delete the game. Like, I'm telling you, on day one, you can quote me on this, there's going to be at least 5 gadgets that completely break the game. Like, they're just not going to be balanced correctly, or they're going to have some fundamental flaw that doesn't work with a new system, like RT getting his super every 30 seconds. There's going to be 5, even more if possible, that are just going to absolutely obliterate the game. And I'm quite scared for that, if I'm being honest. Like, it's the case with like Rico's gadget, the bouncy ball launcher. Like, I quite like the heal one, if I'm being honest, and that one might now get a chance to shine since it will probably get it more frequently. But that could either be super OP, or it could, the bounce one just doesn't get like nerfed enough in quotation marks, and that one's going to be absolutely devastating. Like, his gadgets are so, I want to say risky to try add to this new system. Like, there's so many brawlers who I can just see being weird. One brawler I do see having really good gadget potential with the new rework is Chuck. I feel like he could be very good outside of Heist now, because the rerouting one, if they make that a low cooldown, they could make it so you can basically move his paws wherever quite frequently. That would be good for hot zone if you mess up, or if you want to like move to a different part. Could be good for gem grab, put them near the gem carrier's lane and then maybe switch them up if a new gem carrier comes on or something like that. Like, it could kind of work everywhere. Could even go for trick shots in Brawl Ball with a rerouting, getting your super instantly. That's another case of getting your super instantly, I want to add. And then the going through walls one, that could also be pretty good if it has infinite uses, because it just means you get a chance to just go through walls. Like, when's that never good? Like, that's always going to bring at least some value. So, you kind of see what I'm saying here. I'm saying a lot of the time, there's a high likelihood that some of them are just going to absolutely break the game, and I'm scared for that. And frankly, I think the gadget situation is looking bright, I want to say. It's looking bright. I think this will probably positively impact the game more. Like, one thing I'm scared about as well, obviously this doesn't really apply to me since I'm quite advanced with the game. Actually, I'm a nerd. But I think the complexity of gadgets is going to be a lot like harder for new players to understand, because every single gadget having an individual cooldown, that's not easy to learn. No one's counting the 26 seconds until Piper gets her homing gadget back. We're just not. That's just not going to happen. It's just going to be so much more difficult, and I feel like that's kind of needless. But on the other hand, I feel like this could be really fun, and I feel like having infinite gadgets, in a sense, is actually a really cool idea that I'm kind of looking forward to experiment with, other than just having the infinite gadget modifier in Ranked, for example. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I do want to just, like, for anyone who actually enjoys my channel, this is just for you guys. I know my retention will fall off here, but it's whatever. I wanted to just say, with this channel, I know a lot of people have been asking, what's happening, where's the videos, blah, 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 blah. Basically, I have a second channel now, and it's called Circuit Law, and I recently had a video that popped off, and I've been thinking about YouTube and about my channels, and ultimately, I think, in the long run, I'm going to be pursuing that channel, which kind of means, in the long run, this channel is going to fade away. Just go and subscribe. It doesn't mean I'm just going to disappear off the face of the earth on this channel, but I'm thinking the uploads here are going to be a lot slower, a lot less frequent, and a lot less high effort, if that makes sense. And, like, obviously I'm not happy to do this. Like, I've had this channel for 5 years. It's kind of like, it's kind of my child at this point, but I feel like it makes sense to me to kind of pursue the other channel. That one has a lot more potential. Mario Kart's a much wider audience. It's much more well known. I have much better video ideas there. I literally have like 20 different formulas. Think Mr. Beast formulas, like $1 versus $1 million. But like Mario Kart, I'm not going to make $1 kart versus $1 million kart. I mean, like, that kind of title structure, I've got like 20 different forms of those. So I technically have 20 different video formats that I can just pick and choose different elements of Mario Kart for, which is quite good for me. And I honestly just think that channel is going to be the future for my YouTube content. But yeah, way to leave it on a positive note, Pikachu. Well done. I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed my yapping for 10 minutes. Goodbye.